So, a couple of thoughts I'm having. One of the things that I hear a lot from detractors of the 12-step program is success rates. And these things can be challenging to track. They are trackable. We do track them. They can be challenging because a lot of it's self-reported and anonymous and everything else. Most generous estimates put the current success rate at about 10%, and the detractors are always pointing to a lower number like 7, 5%, things like this. And that got me thinking, like before the 12 steps were even a thing, before anyone was even doing that for alcoholism and addiction and whatnot, there was a doctor named William Silkworth, and he worked at a hospital in New York called Towns Hospital. This was the premier doctor of his day, the premier treatment center of his day, and they were doing work with people. And I thought to myself, well, what were his success rates? And so I hopped on Google, really, which is more like ChatGPT these days, and I asked what were the success rates of William Duncan Silkworth and Towns Hospital, and it spit back a number 2%. That was shocking to me. How do you get to be the best in your industry? How do you earn that reputation at a 2% success rate? So that was my natural next question, like, hey, how do you earn the reputation of being the best, like the best physician at the best hospital with a 2% success rate? They were measuring success differently. What they were really good at, what they were really known for, was helping an alcoholic survive. What they were really known for was helping an alcoholic survive the DTs. You really do need medical attention to survive that. And so they were really good at keeping people alive. Now, this same doctor who was considered the expert in his day, and by the way, he wasn't a religious man, he wasn't very spiritual at all, but he saw this spiritual approach that the 12-step people were advocating, and he saw firsthand patients he had worked with that he had said, other methods I've used successfully on people don't work on these people, and I've seen them get better. I've seen them recover using this 12-step method. That was his testimony that he provided. He said this group here may well have a remedy for thousands of such cases. You know, fast forward 90 years, it's millions of such cases. They are, he used a fancy, antiquated term, writing a new epoch in the annals of alcohol treatment, meaning they're rewriting what we know about alcohol treatment. Like everything we know is flipped on its head. You may absolutely rely on anything they have to say about themselves. That was his endorsement. What's interesting about that is the success rates in 12-step fellowships that are being attacked are success rates based on, does a person stay sober? I think it's for a year is the metric they're using after starting on that program. 10%, 5% of people that employ the 12 steps stay clean and sober for a year afterwards. They literally used to measure success by whether or not they could keep you alive. Think about that. Think about if all the auto mechanic industry could do was try to keep your car running another 6 months or a year, and that's all they can do for automobiles. They're trying their best, and it's like you bring a car to them, and it's like, we're going to patch it up as best we can. Hopefully this thing runs for another 6 months. 9 months, maybe a year and a half. We can keep her on the road for a little bit longer so you can save up for the next one. And then someone comes along with new automotive understanding And like the best mechanic in the world says, this group over here with this new mechanical understanding, they're rewriting what we know about auto mechanics. And 90 years, fast forward 90 years into the future, and now every car has a shelf life of 10 years. But this group of mechanics method only has a 10% success rate at getting those cars to drive faster. That's the analogy. This group, this 12-step program, literally reshaped the way we measure success. It's no longer about whether or not a person dies. Now we're measuring it in how long do they not drink anymore. Think about that for a second. We recalibrated the entire metric by which we measure success. Great, it's 10%. It's 10% of something entirely different. You get that? Do you get that? Like, we're not measuring success in whether or not, like, a person dies. Like, nobody's measuring it that way. They're all measuring it based on, like, how long can this program work in your life? That's interesting to me. I don't know, just some thoughts I have. I'm sure the haters are going to hate in the comments and balance it out with some good love, okay?